I believe that there's trouble in paradise when it comes to Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Pat Riley came out recently, made some comments talking about, hey, if you're not on the court playing, shut your mouth.
If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut.
And that was in response to Jimmy Butler's trolling of the Boston Celtics. And I agree. Pat Riley has earned the right to say those things. He's one of the more accomplished owners in the NBA. His legacy speaks for itself. The Miami Heat have a no tolerance policy when it comes to this, and it's like everybody fall in line. He even made some comments about a guy like Tyler Hero being fragile, and I quote. But more so on the Jimmy Butler front, I think that this is very interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. It's interesting talk to have because I think when you heard the reports that came out about the Miami Heat maybe be unwilling to give Jimmy Butler a supermax contract, especially when you consider his declining play, his increased injury, and lack of availability, if you will, for the team. To me, I understand the Miami Heat's position on this whole thing. I understand why they would not want to probably put all their eggs in one basket and, make a guy like Jimmy Butler, um, the highest paid guy on the team and, really build around him when you can build around a guy like Bam and then go from there. But I think that this is really does spell probably the end for Jimmy Butler in Miami because with the increased chatter of all that. And then you couple in the fact that Jimmy Butler has passed, he's had issues with management, whether that be management with the Philadelphia 76ers, whether that be issues with management and coaching staff with the Timberwolves. We've seen Jimmy Butler in this spot before, and we know that it ultimately ends with him leaving. Jimmy Butler is probably still a very wanted commodity in this league, although his play, I would say, is declining. His athleticism is such a big part of his game. And when that no longer seems to be the case, we might get things like this currently. But when I look at it, I say, hey, I don't know if Jimmy Butler's going to take too kindly to Pat Riley's comments about shut your mouth because he's going to feel like I'm a superstar. I can say what I want when I want. And if it wasn't for me, we probably wouldn't be in this position. And that's debatable, right? That is obviously debatable because the Miami Heat still uh, performed in large part, even when Jimmy Butler was out, because that's their whole mantra. Nobody's bigger than the team, the Heat culture, the Heat way, if you will. Um, but I'm very curious to see what's next with Jimmy Butler. I've kind of made a statement that I think that the Cleveland Cavaliers maybe should think about a swap Donovan Mitchell for Jimmy Butler. Um, I think that when you look at Donovan Mitchell, depending on what happens with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the rest of the playoffs, I think that that could be a spot where you might see Donovan Mitchell might want to go off and probably have his own team. And could you imagine Donovan Mitchell with the Miami Heat, with Bam, with the Tyler Hero? Could that team maybe contend? I have no idea, but I think that the writing's on the wall for Jimmy Butler in Miami. And maybe that's not the ideal fit, but maybe there's another fit. And that's what I'm going to call on you guys. If you guys have an ideal fit for a guy like Jimmy Butler and you could see him going to a specific team, a specific spot, I'd like to hear you guys drop it down in the comment section. What do you guys think is next for Jimmy Butler, for the Miami Heat, so on and so forth? If you like more video content like this, give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live or upload content.